Hey Life Science students, this video is a review for the test about some terms that have to do with chromosomes and how they play a part in cell reproduction, or otherwise known as mitosis and meiosis. So first of all, let's start by going over what is a chromosome. And you know really well that a gene is a part of a DNA strand. So DNA is this really long molecule that's twisted up into this double helix shape. But then what a chromosome is when that DNA coils itself up very tightly. And that's basically to save space and to be organized within the nucleus of a cell. So all a chromosome is a very tightly coiled piece of DNA. It's a lot of DNA, all coiled up together. Okay, so that's a chromosome. Next, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the chromosomes that are in all of your cells. So every cell, almost every cell in your body has 23 pairs of chromosomes. So that means there's 46 total chromosomes, and you're going to need to know that. So as you can see in this picture, all of the 46 chromosomes are organized into pairs. And those pairs are arranged due to their length, but you don't really need to know that. And so you can see here that this last pair here is a little bit different because it's not arranged by length. So there's something weird about this last pair here, which we'll get to in a minute. But otherwise, let's talk about why they are paired up in general. So the reason chromosomes are paired is because one chromosome of the pair is from dad, and one chromosome in the pair is from mom. So for each pair, you have one chromosome from mom and one chromosome from dad. And the reason they're paired is because all of the chromosomes from dad here and all of the genes from dad here and all of the genes from mom here in this chromosome code or have instructions for the same traits. So if this chromosome from dad has the code for eye color, then this gene in the chromosome from mom will also code for eye color. If this gene in the chromosome from dad codes for hair type, curly or straight or wavy, then this gene from mom will code for the same hair, well, not the same hair type, but will code for hair type. And the reason I'm kind of drawing parallels here is because it usually is located along the same region of the chromosome. So if eye color is here, eye color will be here. Hair type is here, hair type will be here. If skin color is here, skin color will be here. And as you can see, there are genes for many different traits on the same chromosome. So it's not like this whole entire chromosome codes for one thing. This entire chromosome codes for many traits. Okay, and obviously as you go through the pairs, given that the 22nd pair is the shortest, it doesn't have as many genes on it, and so it will code for less traits, but there's still multiple traits on this chromosome. Anyway, let's go to then this last pair here, this 23rd pair. You'll notice that there's an X, and that's because these are the chromosomes that are associated with gender or sex. And so given that there's just an X here, this designates that this chromosome, this entire set of chromosomes, is for a female or for a girl. If you had one X and one Y, then it would represent a male. All right, so now that you know that, let's go to our next picture here, and the term that I want you to know from this picture is homologous. Homologous means that one part is from dad, paternal, one part is from mom, maternal. So in that picture we just looked at, each of these pairs, each of these 23 pairs are homologous. One part from dad, one part from mom, one part from dad, one part from mom, one part from dad, one part, you get the picture. So they are homologous pairs. The thing I want you to remember about homologous is it refers to both before and after replication. So when we're going to undergo mitosis or meiosis, the chromosomes need to replicate, make an exact copy. And so down here you can see that there is the original chromosome from dad plus an exact copy of the chromosome from dad. And same for mom. There is the original chromosome from mom and then the exact copy of the chromosome that occurs after replication. So these two, even though they're after replication, they are also homologous because one part from dad and one part from mom. Now the extra term that you need to know here is sister chromatids. Now after replication, when you have the original chromosome and then the replicated chromosome, those two in relation are sister chromatids. Doesn't matter if it's from dad or mom, they are sister chromatids. Same thing for the maternal. You have the original chromosome and the copy chromosome, and in relation to each other, those are sister chromatids. You cannot have sister chromatids before replication. You only have sister chromatids after replication because it talks specifically about the original chromosome and the copy chromosome. In relation to each other, those are sister chromatids. All right, so moving on here, two more terms that you need to know are haploid and diploid. Whew, okay, so diploid refers to having one set from mom and one set from dad. So that refers to basically homologous pairs, or going back to our original or second picture here, each pair is diploid. So our cells, most of our cells in our body, all of our somatic cells in our body are diploid because they have 23 pairs, meaning 46 total chromosomes. That's diploid. So 2N, 2 meaning there's a pair of each, whereas haploid is half. So instead of having a pair of each, you just have one chromosome of each. And that only occurs in our sex cells, or after meiosis. And that is because when we have an egg cell and a sperm cell, we need each of those cells to have 23 chromosomes so that then they come together in fertilization. They have a total of 46. So diploid refers to our typical body cells, skin cells, hair cells, eye cells, liver cells, tongue cells, whatever. All of our somatic body cells are diploid because they have pairs of chromosomes. But our sex cells, our sperm and eggs, our gametes, are haploid because they only have one of each chromosome. Okay, that's it for chromosomes. I hope this was helpful, and study well.